Michael, you put out a statement about the Van Halen thing. There's nothing happening, right? It's at least this year.
At this point, yes.
At this point,
there's nothing happening.
Nothing happening. So you're clear and locked in with Sammy and clear sailing for this year.
We're locked in anyway. Sammy was gracious enough to part the waves here if something were to happen, but
which he said on my show. Yeah,
I go straight to Cabo, put my feet in the sand until Mikey's done, and we go back to work.
Do you get a ticket to go to the show, Sam?
Oh, I'd go see it.
You'd go?
Yeah.
Oh, I can get him backstage.
You get him in?
I get him backstage.
First of all, there ain't no show. Let's get that straight.
That's the problem. We need a show, Michael. We need a show. Can't you go walk up the street to the brothers and get them to say, let's do a show? Let's all do a march up there, including Sammy. We'll all go walk up there right now. Right from the rainbow, we'll walk up the street. Michael won't even put the microphone to his mouth right now. Look at him.
Michael, don't do it.
You'd be pounding on a door. You'd be pounding on a door.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't
know. I don't. This is what I want to ask you. This is interesting. And Sammy, you're tied into this. I read one of the Van Halen books that came out recently that Noel Monk, your former manager, wrote, right?
Yep.
It said in that book, in 1978, when you're making the debut album, Ted Templeman was unhappy with the vocal he was getting out of David Lee Roth. And at that time said, hey, there's this guy, Sammy Hagar, that you should consider bringing into for the first record.
Eddie, is totally true. That's totally true. Ted did make a suggestion.
So that's true. When the band started, so there was a Sammy, did this get on your radar that Van Halen may have reached out to you initially?
Yeah, Ted Templeman told me that, but it wouldn't have. I mean, it would have worked, but the way it all went down is so much better. You know, we had. The band had 2 lives, you know, and most bands don't have 2 lives. I mean, you're lucky to get 1 life out of rock and roll. And so to have 2 lives like that for the band, I think it was better for the band, better for the legacy. I came in and it worked, which was like against all odds, you know. And so I think it's cooler the way it went down. If I'd have been in there from the beginning, who knows? I mean, it might have broke up after 4 years and never heard of the band again. You would have never heard, you know, a Foreign Lawful Carnal Knowledge or a 5150, you know, OU 812. Those are great records, you know. We probably wouldn't have got that far.
And oddly enough, when we first started working on the first album, we told Ted, we said, make it sound like Montrose, man.
Right.
Big and bad like Montrose.
Right. Yeah, I found a great irony in that because you guys were Montrose fans, and at that time there was, you know, Ted, who had produced Montrose, first record, was thinking of Sammy from out of the gate and just thinking how history would have potentially been changed if that would have happened. But Sammy, it didn't reach your radar. You only heard about it after the fact then, right?
Yeah, after the fact. No one ever called. But just as, you know, set the record straight, from the bottom of my heart, those first few Van Halen records in 1980 up to 1984 were great records, and and I take nothing away from that. That was without that. Without that, yeah. I mean, I couldn't have walked into a band like that without that happening first, and have the success we had. You know, what I mean, we became a stadium act anywhere in the world, and that's all #1 albums. You don't start that way. It's almost like, you know, Dave did all the dirty work, and I walked in and said, yeah.